Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Panzer Corps 2. The decision was to go ahead and continue for the moment with our ongoing campaign here. So that leaves us in Norway. By default, this scenario starts you off with two capital ships. We got the Blucher sort of forward deployed near this fort, the 21st Fort here, and a Königsberg-class cruiser over here in the west. Two destroyers and two subs. These ships, we don't get to keep these ships. We might get prestige back if we delete them, but we don't get to keep them into later battles. So those ships will disappear. We do get to keep the Fallschirmjäger that it starts us with. So it basically gives us two free Fallschirmjäger. It starts with one of them already flying, and we could redeploy the other one so that it is flying as well, I believe. And I think we get to keep these guys. I might be wrong, there might not be guys we keep. There is a way to tell if it's a unit you keep. I just forget how to check. I suppose we could do move all units to reserve. Yeah, so we have everything. Oh, no, I guess we don't keep these Fallschirmjägers. We're going to want some Fallschirmjägers for future missions anyway, so we'll just have some more Fallschirmjägers. Okay. Okay, so we don't get to decide how those two are placed, but we can get more. Good enough. Anyway, that means as we have those guys selected, we don't get to see where the placement zones are. We're in the deployment phase, right? Yeah, we should be in the deployment phase. Why am I not seeing the deployment locations? Oh, there we go. I have something in the thing. So for example, we can deploy a bunch of infantry over here, whether out at sea or on land. I think it's only the, well, we can technically fly people as well. I don't think it'll let us deploy anyone flying unless they're Fallschirmjäger. So I can deploy a couple over here on the ocean over there. So we get two deployments over here at sea. Most of them are going to start here in northern Denmark. Let's move back to the reserve for the moment. Which units do I want to take is the question here for this mission. We may leave the tanks benched, although I may bring a couple tanks. There's a little bit of fighting here, in here. We're on the hills, it's not going to be too bad. Just to have some armored vehicles. But yeah, we're not. Well, this map's not too bad. There's only this one sort of winding road here where we're really getting hammered by mountains on both sides. This is Norway South. Norway North is a little bit more. The mountains kind of get in the way. Yeah, I think we're gonna elite replace on our planes, and we're definitely deploying the planes. You got an 88mm flak. Probably go ahead and take that along as well. And probably the artillery and the recon. Yeah, probably leaving the tanks behind. We're going to want the Pioneer, so we'll get that ready for deployment. I might take mountain troops instead of regular troops. We'll see in a moment. And then for purchasing, we're probably going to want a couple Fallschirmjäger and a couple mountain troops. We could now deploy them with the armored cars. Given the fact of how we're planning on using them, for this mission at least, we don't want the mountain troops or the Fallschirmjäger equipped with vehicles. So we'll just add you to basket, add you to basket. It's not too bad, that's about 640. Purchase that. It leaves us with 7 spaces for additional equipment. And that's with 1 armored car and 1 pioneer. We'll probably want another pioneer. The pioneer I will equip motorized half-track. I probably can upgrade the transport on the other one, yeah. Okay, no space for another armored car. Well, actually there might be. How small do the armored cars get? Armored cars only go down to 1 size 1. Okay, never mind, that's what we're taking. Could bring one of the Brooklyn Pioneer. Just to bulk out the forces a little bit. So, for attacking Bergen over here, we're going to want at least 1 Pioneer and say 1 Mountain Soldier. No Fallschirmjägers can deploy over there. Okay. Oh, and I can get some landers over here. Pretty sure... Can I get the Fallschirmjägers to deploy flying? Or do I have to... Yes, I get the Fallschirmjägers deploying flying. Looks like I can deploy them on land, deploy them flying though. Either that or they're going to be so certain to... Oops. No. Wanted to. That's not what I wanted, game. Wanted to select the deployed unit. Here we go. Right click to dedeploy. Okay. Or is it, do I have to deploy them? Okay, so if I try to deploy them at sea, they deploy boat. Fallschirmjägers we probably want flying. Anyway, right, and we only have 1 airfield. It's all the we have 3 airfields, but they're all in the north of Denmark here, so they're basically all the same. I don't think we need to destroy that place. We need to take that place. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 objectives to take on this mission. Yeah, capture all 6 victory cases. So this location and this location are supply locations. That aren't objectives. So we want to probably take them for supplying our people personally. Although we probably ignore one on the island. 22nd Fort we probably ignore as long as we're not too close to it. And that's its firing range. So that would be the argument for trying to suppress the 22nd Fort. As I can shoot our guys on the coast there. This looks like what our initial deployment is going to be. We do have a reserve. If things go horribly wrong and we lose some units, we may deploy troops from the reserve. Let's go with how this is going to work. Okay. Let's end the deployment here. Oh, it's reminding me about heroes. What heroes do I have in reserve? I think I've got 2 heroes. I've got a combat luck, so combat arts can never be worse than predicted, and artillery support. Which basically provides the soft benefits of artillery. Thinking about it, that's probably actually a good one to probably put on you. And the reason is, by default, the big gun here. Let's see the stats. That's maybe not the best place to look for the stats. We can go look in the purchase menu for it. The big gun, the 15 centimeter, has better stats than the 105 or the 75, but instead of having this one has AT support. Oh no, this has AT and artillery support. Okay. So the big one has artillery support. One of the... Oh, it's the new 21st. Or the 210. The 210 doesn't have artillery support. So if we had a 210, we'd probably want to put it on the 210. I forget how moving heroes around works. I think you can move them around. I don't think you're stuck to having them stuck to a specific person. So for the moment, I might actually just want to attach that to someone else. Like, say, attach it to the 88mm. Yeah, the soft attack's a little weak on that. Maybe someone else? Yeah, well, actually, we'll attach it to you for the moment. But how do I remove heroes is the question. I may have just stuck a hero to that guy and can't take him off. Oops. I break the game. Yeah, there we go. There's the unassign. So yeah, I'm gonna assign and unassign. We'll put the artillery support on you. We'll probably put it on the, like, 210, whenever we get a 210. And then combat odds can't be worse than predicted. We'll put on the dive bomber. Okay, now we're on the first turn. We'll put the units aside for the moment. Get the Blucher, trying to get the Blucher out of firing range so that we can actually save it. It isn't super important if we don't successfully save the Blucher. Okay, we've got our guys ashore. We've captured the supply point, so we don't have to worry about these guys coming out of supply. And then we can just retreat these guys down the fort and the Norwegian infantry there. Okay. That's probably fine for the moment there. These guys aren't going to be in landing range this turn, although we can land them probably next turn. Okay. One nice thing about the Dornier, which is our strategic bomber right now, level bomber, is it is an anti-shipping bomber. So it'll do pretty good damage against the enemy ships here. Let's embark you for flying. I'm thinking both embark and disembark in the same term, so. Okay. Hindsight, these might not necessarily be the best of drops. you want to bomb the fort? Yeah, let's bomb the fort. A little bit of damage on the ships. And then we'll get this guy embarked and moving as well. And that's roughly our first turn here. Yeah, I think I'd wait until next turn maybe to disembark. Present unspent. No suitable hex? What do you mean no suitable hex? Okay. Again, it's been a while since I've played this game the whole way through. Otherwise, I think this is how we're going to deploy. I can't get the parachutist to actually, you know, parachute. A little bit of AA fire hitting up the parachuters coming down. Oh, and of course the plane has to go for the AA unit in transit. Okay, now can I disembark? Yes. Okay, that supplies us supplies there. Shoot up the Gladiator Mark II here. And again, we're gonna have you probably bomb some of the boats. Hindsight, I probably should have brought a little bit more infantry. Oh, and we can't get you here ashore. Oh, that's a little disappointing. Well, technically get you ashore there, which I guess is what we'll do. There we go. That's not too bad. And then we have the dive bomber. I think we're gonna have the dive bomber target the fort again. Oops. Got myself ambushed and pretty heavily damaged due to the ambush. Okay, let's try to send the destroyer to the bottom. Freeze up this destroyer to go elsewhere. These guys will begin to siege down. Right now we're going to receive a little bit too much return fire. A little bit more than I would like to receive, at least. Oh, that's not too bad. We'll take that attack. Now let's just take the port there. And now these guys don't have a retreat point, so if I can get them to rout... Well, the infantry would be the ones who would be routing. The fort is the fort. The fort would just be trying to destroy the fort, which is why I want to render the fort unable to return fire, ideally, before we go in. Okay, not the best of landings, but it will work, I think. It's trying to resist us in various places. Oh, I think we lost the armored car. Oh, no, the armored car just barely survived. Okay, that could definitely be worse. Okay, let's chase the AA off the airfield here. You coming ashore? You healed up, hopefully enough to survive. Get you healed up as well. They're getting the boating there. Down to 2. Oh, we're gonna have a intercept there. No, that's not a good plan. Let's carpet bomb the mountain infantry here. Gonna soften them up a little bit. And then we'll bring down the gladiator here. One of your enemy aircraft. Okay, attack the port. We're at the point where we're not taking any damage from the fort. We're in a little bit of a rush because we want to free these guys up to tie up more troops. But at the same time, we may be in a rush, but we're not necessarily at risk of taking a lot of damage. Okay, so if I can get in person here, we can get this guy into a position where they can't retreat. We'll be able to get rid of them next turn if that's the case. Okay, we haven't lost any units yet, although some of our units have been pretty badly beaten up in the landings. Maybe not the best thing to attack the artillery that can turn fire. They got the maneuverability. They might be taking an armored car. Oh no, they're attacking the artillery. I forgot we put the supporting fire on the artillery. Or on the armored car, so it was artillery-like fire. That's right. Aircraft won't be able to move or attack. Okay, that's okay. Oh, and of course we're technically encircled there. If I move there, we're not encircled, so you can reinforce. Which hopefully give you enough to survive a turn. Reinforce you. Yeah, I do need to drive those guys back, even if it's going to cause a lot of casualties. Okay, we got that to surrender. Gonna get EU recovered. It's actually a little bit more effective. Destroy the ship. Oh, did I lose my unit here? Yeah, we lost the unit. That's a setback and a shame. Okay. We'll get rid of that infantry on the next turn and begin advancing eastward to provide other support elsewhere when we need support. I need these infantry, so we need to do frontal assaults, which isn't ideal to free up the infantry. Okay, otherwise I think we're fine here for the moment. Okay. And then we'll carpet bomb you. It might be enough to get you to surrender? Yes. Okay. Okay, so we can see that we got some artillery block in the way here going east. It's not going to be too much of a concern. And then obviously I do need to replace the Pioneer we lost. Let's purchase that. Where can I deploy you? Am I stuck deploying you? Oh, okay. Ah, that works perfectly. You can deploy there. A little bit of a hot landing there, I suppose, for him, but that'll probably work. Okay, and then I'm not worried about necessarily giving air cover, so we'll scoot you there. Move the artillery up one. I'm going for a strafe. And then where can I rebase you? There, or... Holy... Oh, we can rebase here. If they come out to drive us off that airfield, well, then we've got them off the objective, and that works for me. Technically, we would shoot with the recon, but I think that's more likely just going to get us damaged than be productive right now. Oh, and you have the range, so you can go ahead and examine the fortress a little bit. Now, the question, and I'm not quite sure the answer to that question, is did I just lose the hero? Normally when a split unit gets one half of the split destroyed, you're not really worried about it because your other half of the split has, well, it's the unit, right? Yeah, I think I may have lost the hero. We'll find out. Oops, I forgot to reinforce that unit. That one's about to get destroyed. That half's about to get destroyed. Okay, let's get rid of the... Oh, the AA gun survived, because of course it did. I don't suppose it's in the dive bomb range. Nope, outside the dive bomb range. Okay, taking that objective. Everywhere I want to be, I am now on the offensive, which is good to see. We might not be necessarily getting the best of offensives going on, but we are advancing. Artillery removed. Next turn we can split up a little bit more and get this guy encircled so we can get some prestige off of that guy. To help pay for all the combat losses. Otherwise we're going reasonably well. Don't got any more boats to bomb. Let's bomb the fortress. That's kind of the expectation of the fortress. Shoot up you a bit. You out of AA range, you are out of AA range. Okay. I'm not going to move the AA. Well, can't move the AA to get into range anyway. I think I'm about to lose that half of the infantry, the Broken Pioneer, which is fine. The Broken Pioneer is... I brought the Broken Pioneer explicitly to be cannon fodder, so if it's doing its job, it's doing its job. The Broken Pioneer has successfully died, and half the Broken Pioneer successfully did its job. Dying in the line of battle, yeah. It's raining, so no aircraft usage. Darn, survives with 1 hit point. Not too worried of losing these snail boats, so we're gonna bring them in. Oh, snail boats don't have ground bombardment. Okay, so we're probably gonna be scanning for them. Okay, taking the location. If we had Oslo, we could be railing our troops over. We'll have to march this away instead. It's destroyed. Beginning our slow march inland. Looking at the time, I think this is probably a good place to put a part break in. I'm going to try to keep these 30 to 40-ish minutes long, so this is basically the first half of Norway South. We've got most of the coastal objectives. We got Oslo, Lillehammer sort of area to take over, which will probably go better as we get more infantry into the sector, because I probably didn't direct enough infantry to that area, and that's kind of what we're struggling with. Although in some ways that has meant we were succeeding a lot better at the other sectors. Maybe instead of landing over here, I should have like landed here, but too late. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. Take a short break to take a moment to sip some tea and stretch their legs, and then we'll be back to record the next part. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.